Hey, it's James, Father's Rights and Resources, hashtag how I got custody. Oh my God. I got a comment on YouTube by this utter dumbass named Roosters Rants1977. And I'm about to prove what a hater, another hater of me, I'm about to really prove. This got to be one of the biggest dumbass hypocrites I've seen come on my page. Because he doesn't read anything, pay attention to anything. He makes presumptuous judgments, and he's triggered like a feminine drama queen, like most of my haters are. But this guy he admits and incriminates himself in the comment. And on YouTube, I'm posting the comment as a screenshot, as a thumb to the video. Well, let me just tear this guy apart and show you what an idiot, and he's arrogant about it. See, there's answers for dads out there to win, and I prove it, and the comments prove it, and testimonials prove it, and he lies in the face of court orders and all that stuff because this punk-ass bitch coward's own personal experience is his whole world. So he comes on my page and lies and makes up stuff and then makes presumptuous judgments, just like a crazy baby mama would. So if you go to my YouTube channel, if you watch this on TikTok or Instagram, you go to my YouTube channel, you go to the video that's entitled, "Don't Let Anyone Tell You What's Best for Your Kids." Okay, so I'm going to pick his stuff apart point by point and overwhelmingly prove how stupid my gender is. And this is what the problem is with my gender. And he complains that I blame dads, and as if I'm in denial about the system being biased. We know the system is biased, but what are you going to do about it? You need to stand up and fight it. But guys won't fight it. So then I have to blame dads for not doing that. Just like you would blame, the revolutionaries in the Revolutionary War for not standing up if they don't fight. Or anybody doesn't fight the Civil War. Or feminists who didn't fight for feminism. Or Native Americans didn't fight for Native American rights. Or people didn't fight against Jim Crow laws. Every member of society in one way or another in the history of mankind has been discriminated against or harmed in some way, and for things to change, people had to stand up against discrimination. But my gender, like this punk ass bitch Roosters Rants, proves what a bitch he is and admits to stuff and then lies all in one little quickie comment. So I pinned his comment there because I'm not afraid of criticisms, because guys show their true colors, and it substantiates my point. So let's go look at his bull crap. So Rooster's Rant says in the pinned one on that page, you can just type in how I got custody and then type in "don't let anyone," and you'll get that video on my YouTube channel. So he says, guys don't listen to James. He doesn't know crap about actual family courts. That's a total lie, because I've been in and out of family court for 20 years. I was a paralegal for several different law firms for at least 10 years. I've done contract work with individual family law attorneys. Family law attorneys buy stuff from my store as they're learning the system. I show you my winning court orders against attorneys with 17 and 50 years experience. The 50-year experience attorney I beat in the Court of Appeals twice, and I destroyed 2 different guardian items, and you see my winning orders. So he starts off with a total presumptuous straw man or lie, or he creates something that doesn't exist and builds upon his drama queen lie, just like a crazy baby mama does in family court. So he says that I don't know anything about family court. I actually worked in the court system as a clerk also, which is like one of the judicial assistants of a judge. He blames dads. Most states go by certain guidelines. So he's mad that I'm blaming dads. I just told you dads need to stand up for themselves and against the system, and they don't. They roll with the punches of the system. They won't go in court and call a spade a spade. They won't call out their baby's moms. They won't try and try again. They won't get on the offensive and do discovery. They sit back. They won't do contempt motions. I show you my winning order in my full page on my first attempt at contempt. So he's lying about, I don't know about actual family courts. And then he says that I blame dads. It's because dads aren't doing squat, and they got all these weapons available to them. And see, when dads get on the offensive at the beginning of the case, they almost always win or get something fair. When they catch me when they're way behind the 8 ball and they didn't get off their ass and look for help, like this guy didn't, then they don't know what, they get way behind the 8 ball, then they got to get on the offensive and fight, and a lot of them do better. But if you do what this punk ass bitch did and spent $50,000 on an attorney like he insinuates, then you automatically lose. No attorney or arguments matter. So he's saying no attorney. So I've dealt with 25,000 cases. It looks like he's talking about his own personal experience in one case. So he's saying no attorney or arguments matter. First of all, this is a page about not using an attorney. This numbnuts dumbass doesn't even look at what he's looking at. So he makes presumptions about me because he's in his own little world like this. I got my ass kicked in court, so this is my own little world. I can't step outside and say, ooh, somebody else won, because his bitch-made ego is caught up, and he wished he would have won, and he lost. And if I say there's a better way because he didn't think of it, or he didn't try it, or he's too much of a coward, he's getting checked, and he's feeling crunchy, or he feels convicted about it. So he says, no arguments matter. I've won in the Court of Appeals with winning arguments. I've had countless men go to court and fight off restraining orders and stuff. In the comments in my YouTube, you can see different testimonies of guys winning in court. Type in the hashtag HIGC testimony, how I got custody testimony. I've done it with a couple different testimonies. I've shown emails that people have written to me in videos. So he's lying about that. No arguments matter. That's his own punk ass experience. And then he said it cost $50,000 to even possibly get 50-50. This punk ass bitch is lying again. He said $50,000. He's saying getting an attorney. So he's saying to even possibly get 50-50 costs $50,000. So he also lied because I show you my winning court orders. This guy is such a stupid, dumbass, fruity gay boy that he won't get off his lazy ass to see where I tell you guys I back up what I'm talking about. I got full custody of my daughter without an attorney. She's 7 months old. That cost me under $1,000. I had to go to Kinko's, spend $80 here, $50 there, $100 there. So well under $1,000. So he's lying here based upon his own punk ass experience. He says this guy is the problem, not at all a solution. So again, I've dealt with 25,000 cases. I've worked with at least 300 dads who got full custody without an attorney, sometimes with an attorney. I stopped counting at 300. You can't find a single attorney that's helped a dad get custody more than 10 times. So this punk ass bitch, dumbass, airheaded Neanderthal whose brain hasn't developed fully, he says all these negative things, and he's lying about every single one because he's saying, basically is what he's saying from what I could tell, I got creamed after spending $50,000 and I couldn't even get 50-50. He's saying you have to go with an attorney, and attorneys and arguments don't matter. He says that I don't know anything about family courts because most states go by guidelines. I have links to each state, to many states' factors for custody. No shit, dude. Yeah, there's guidelines. And it's the best interest of the child. A lot of states say presumption of 50-50. So how come you're not getting 50-50? Because you didn't stand up for it. You didn't argue. You quit after the first hearing after you lost one time. The fact that he's saying that I don't know what I'm talking about, I blame dads and most states go by guidelines. That shows, see, and he's given rednecks a bad name because he sounds country, and I went and looked at his page. He sounds country. He sounds like a dumbass idiot who doesn't ever read. And he mocks people with college educations because they get, a libtard degree and stuff like that. And I agree with that to a point, but he's making rednecks look bad. Because he's acting like he's being such a hypocritical, pathological liar. He's saying, I don't know anything about the situation. I blame dads for not standing up, because what the women do is get on the offensive and go to war and wear the dad down, and the dad doesn't stand up. And I blame dads for that. Yeah, I do. For not standing up for yourself. Every single dad who's lost in court or got creamed didn't even try the first 5 basic things to try. And that have worked for thousands of other dads. And then he says, most states go by certain guidelines and no attorney and arguments matter. Well, I got proof to the contrary, especially in my own case. And no shit, dude, that there's certain guidelines. He's sitting there saying, he might as well tell us the sky is blue. He's saying stuff that I already said. He's so stupid, he's saying stuff that I already say. He's acting like I don't think the system is biased or whatever. And then if you go and look, within the same day, I got a comment from another guy. So if you look at my video, Quickie Tour through James's YouTube, This guy said, get a consult with James. James is the man. I've had several consults with him, and he gives great info. Same day. Another page. This dumbass can't read.